Today, I'm gonna show you how to make my favorite cookies. They are a brown butter peanut butter chocolate chip cookie, and they are dipped in chocolate, you guys. I'm so excited to show you this recipe. The brown butter and the peanut butter just mesh so well together and really bring out the flavor of the milk chocolate with the dark chocolate base. And it is crispy on the outside, perfectly soft on the inside. This is gonna be your new favorite cookie. We're gonna start by adding 1/3 cup of granulated sugar, and then 3/4 cup of light brown packed sugar. So we really wanna pack it, and I like to just use the side of the container here to make sure it's nice and packed down. Now let's add our brown butter. I have 1 cup of brown butter, and what I've done is I've added 1 cup of cold butter to a pot, and then we're just going to cook it down on a medium low to low setting depending on your stove. And then we just want to make sure that we're cooking it down where you're going to see like little brown flecks into the bottom, and it cooks it down almost like halfway down. The flavor of the butter almost turns like a nutty flavor, so it really complements the peanut butter that we're going to be adding into these cookies. Let's add the brown butter. It smells so good. You're gonna see all the specks of that like browning of the butter in there. So I don't add those to the cookies. Now, a lot of people, they would strain this out, but I found that most of it sticks right to the bottom of the pan. So then you can see very minimal in the cookies. Now we're just gonna mix everything together here. Let's add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Now I'm a big like measure with your heart when it comes to vanilla, because it just adds such a great flavor. So if you're a little bit over, it's no big deal. And then our peanut butter. So this is probably one of the biggest things when it comes to this recipe that I've received questions on, is what kind of peanut butter. I like to use an organic, all natural peanut butter. You can also use, whatever your favorite brand is, but the ingredients in peanut butter will vary. So that will change the texture of your cookie. So for example, if you're using like Jif or Skippy, a peanut butter like that, the cookies aren't going to be as flat. They're going to be a little bit thicker. It's still going to taste amazing. So I just say use your favorite, but if you're looking for a specific like look of a cookie, if you want it more flat like mine are going to turn out, then I would go with an all natural peanut butter. And we're going to add 3 tablespoons. And you could use a crunchy peanut butter if you wanted to get a little bit of texture in there. I like to use creamy for this recipe. And this is just giving it a hint of like a peanut butter or a nut flavor. It's not going to be a really strong peanut butter flavor cookie like you're, you would be more used to with like that traditional peanut butter cookie. This is just gonna give it that great nutty flavor. And now let's add our 2 eggs. We're using 2 large eggs. Room temperature is ideal. And mix it together. Now onto our dry ingredients. You can make these completely gluten-free if you want to. You could also make them completely dairy-free if you want to, by just using dairy-free ingredients. So today I'm gonna use an all-purpose flour. Again, you could use like a 1-to-1 gluten-free flour. We're adding 2 1/4 cups. And when you add the flour, go ahead and just shake off the top. We wanna make sure that it's not pressed. Since we're not doing or using a scale, this just helps to make sure that we're not adding too much flour in. 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of salt. I like to use good quality kosher salt. And now we're gonna mix this together. So if you added the brown butter in while it was still warm, then we're going to wait to add the chocolate chips into it, because the chocolate chips will start to melt. So I like to just double check everything at the very end, and then we're going to see, should we add the chocolate chips in right away, or should we wait until after its resting period? You can just smell that peanut butter and the brown butter. It's just, it smells so good. And this cookie dough, let me tell you, if you don't get to even baking it and you just eat the cookie dough, it is so good. Okay, so our dough is still a little bit warm, so we're just going to put this on the counter, let it cool down, let all the flours and everything really get absorbed with all the wet ingredients. Our dough is rested for about 30 minutes and we're gonna go ahead and add in our chocolate chips. So since we're adding chocolate to the base of this recipe, I like to do a couple of different chocolate combinations. You do your favorite. So what I'm gonna do is add milk chocolate chips into the batter, and then for the bottom, we're going to use a dark chocolate. We're gonna add 1.5 cups of chocolate chips. All right, the cookie dough is ready. So we're gonna preheat the oven to 375 degrees and then get our cookie trays ready. When it comes to cookies, the baking tray makes a huge difference. So I like to use aluminum. I've tested a bunch of different brands, a bunch of different styles, from ceramic to steel, you name it, I've tested it. And this is gonna give you the most even bake on your cookie. It's going to just do everything that you want when you've made the perfect cookie. So, and then lining it, I like to use parchment paper. You could use like a sill pad. You could also use a non-stick baking spray. But again, for making sure that the texture, the taste, and everything comes out perfect, parchment paper is hands down my go-to. Okay, these cookies will spread, so we're going to keep about 2 inches between each cookie. I like to use a 2 tablespoon scoop, and we're going to place it where it has enough room to spread there. Okay. You guys, it is smelling so good. It's taking everything in me to not just eat the cookie dough right now. And you can always make these smaller too if you want. I like to do it this size, and it's always like 2's perfect. 2's just the perfect amount for a dessert or a midday snack. My kind of snack. Okay, they're ready. We're gonna go ahead and pop them in the oven. Our cookies are out of the oven. You guys, they are perfect. To me, these are the most perfect brown butter chocolate chip cookie. I should say chocolate chip cookie. It's my favorite one. It's a little bit crispy on the outside. It's soft on the inside. And that's the difference of using a good cookie sheet. You're gonna get a nice even bake on there. So for the chocolate base, now you could always stop there, and that's an amazing cookie. You can always use this as a base chocolate chip cookie recipe. They're absolutely delicious, and in my opinion, they're perfect. But if you want to take them up a notch, we're gonna do that chocolate based. And I like to use a dark chocolate. There's a lot of different options. And then these are just my go-to because it just makes it really easy for melting. So I have them melted in the bowl here, and I just melted the chocolate in the microwave. So we're dipping the cookie in the chocolate, and then we're placing it on our cookie sheet. We're gonna place it in the fridge just to let that chocolate set up. But our cookies are cooled. We're going to just dip them right in the chocolate there, and then spreading that out. So we have our chocolate base, place it down. The cookies are done. So they don't take very long once you put them in the fridge for that chocolate to set up. But you guys, look at how amazing these are. I am so excited for you to try this. Look at that, you guys. Oh, I'm so excited. They are my favorite cookie. Let me know if you try them. Go ahead and comment below.